Hey friends, it's Joe from DadBod. Today it's around 4:48 in the morning and it's like 54 degrees Fahrenheit or 11 degrees Celsius, so that's pretty neat. And we're gonna go run 7 miles in Tokyo. So I'm gonna pop you on my head and we're gonna get to work. Give me 1 second. Actually, I have a little bit of dread today. I mean, I have a little bit of dread on any workout, so it's not really anything new per se. Let me click the magic button, get this thing started. There we go. Look at us beginning something that's so fun. And the major aspect of dread is just I don't want to be uncomfortable. It's like really as simple as that. Let me pull up YouTube. See how this works today. Start with a nice little walk. Yeah, 7 miles, it's a good stretch. It's doable. We've done it before. Said, hey, what's up? Basically anything. Welcome, friend. We're gonna go jog 7 miles once I get my little gloves on. Nice to see ya. Welcome to Tokyo. Today the goal is to run to the path along a whole slew of other things we run past. But that's the turnaround point. Yo, Eliza finally made one. What's up, friend? Just getting gloves on. Getting ready to show. I'm a little we'll see how everything fares for me. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Pew. Look at that, we're running. Incredible! Ow! My foot's like, no you're not. Why would you do that? So sorry I haven't been getting out on. Hey, no worries, man. Everybody lives across different time zones, different busy things to do. So I never hold it against anyone if they can't seem to make it to the live. I appreciate the engagement. You're watching me on my on your TV. That's crazy. Hopefully it's entertaining. We'll see. You're gonna get to catch a sunrise. Oh man, I got definitely got some sore spots today to work on. My form's not super perfect yet. I can feel a little bit of like impingement on my left hip, which was kind of bothering me on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So I'm gonna try to be easy on it. I'm not out here to get injured, but 7 miles is a decent distance. So hopefully after about a mile or two of making myself do something uncomfortable, I'll kind of like burn it in, warm it up. How gozaimasu. It is, well, basically anything. I hope you find this live encouraging and entertaining. And while you could watch it on your TV and grab a big bowl of ice cream, which is totally fine, you could watch it on your phone, go for a little walk around the block, pop in your AirPods or whatever. So one of my main focuses right now as I get going is to make sure I'm not fast. Like really force my pace slow uncomfortably slow and just embrace the journey, the process. Otherwise, it ain't gonna work out well. But where are y'all watching from? What part of the world? Right now we're in like southwest central Tokyo at a place called Todoroki Ravine. The ravine's technically that way, but we're gonna run down some stairs and find it. Yesterday was recovery, so on Sundays I try to go light. That said, I got a little too into it, I think. At least that's what my hamstrings and glutes and quads are telling me. So I did like my normal warm-up, which is dynamic stretching. Ooh, going slow is where I feel it the wrong way. So I did like my normal warm-up, and then I foam rolled for about 18 minutes. That was dreadful. And when I foam roll, I go hard. And I got one of them soft rolls. And then I was like, you know what, the kids aren't awake. Let's do some VR. So I got a fitness game called Supernatural, which is like Beat Saber, but it has a different charm to it. So I did like a 20-minute boxing workout where you throw knees and punch things. Really burned out the quads from squatting and so much. And I was like, you know what? Let's play some Beat Saber. Whew. So I kept going. So I might have overdone it. We'll see. It's just a lonely trail for us. The river's a little more quiet today. But it's funny, I'm literally, I don't know, 6, 7 minutes into this thing, and I'm already like, I don't know, maybe we should just walk back up those steps. Walk across the bridge, grab our body, go home. Like, why finish this? So one of the things I'm gonna do, just for a little bit, just for the stretch from here to that tall building, I think I'm gonna lean forward. I'm gonna stride a little bit more and try to catch a quicker pace, just to see if I can work into the mechanics a little bit. Because right now, I'm definitely sore, definitely uncomfortable. Certain things aren't moving the way I want them to. I'm trying to figure out why. So I think maybe my pace was too slow. Whew. But we'll figure it out. We always do. We just gotta commit. That's the hard part. That commit. So tricky. Let's take a couple deadlifts. 2 3. Oh, let's walk a little bit. Something's off. So I'm just kind of dynamically stretching, moving, do a couple cross legs. Again, I may have worked out a little bit too much yesterday, but if I bring my heart rate down, I could probably find a nice trottle pace, which means I wouldn't have to fully stop. Whew. But I am trying to figure out, like, man, what's up with my left butt cheek? And it's neat, like, every single workout, everything, whether it's a lift, a run, or recovery, for me, always starts with a balance of dread and doubt. Hey, Empu, welcome, friend. How's it going? See if I can. DadBod, how's it going? Well, friend, it's pretty cool. Yesterday, something wild happened. We hit 10 million views. We're officially monetized with ads, which means at some point during this live, you may experience an interruption of an ad from time to time. But the cool thing about that is that while you're distracted being sold some wonderful product that the master algorithms decided you need to buy, I will make a tenth of a tenth of a tenth of a penny. Whew. But we'll see. Lives aren't really the main way I plan on making revenue. I just enjoy connecting with our community. Man, super gassed today. Super gassed. Super sore. I'm like, carry on, man. Whoops. What the heck? Lost my live chat. Weird. There we go. You're about to start a night shift, so I won't talk a lot. Wishing you a great run. Thanks, buddy. I will say, it's starting off nice and rough. Shins are grumpy. Glutes are grumpy. Basically, everything is giving me a very loud, resounding, why the heck are you here? Everything. I'm like, where are my abs? How do I squeeze my abs so I can lean? But we'll see. Hopefully I can find a good pace that I can hold. Hopefully we're free from injury, but I don't know. Mechanics are a little bit off. But Empo, I know you're about to start work. It's okay if you already left, but hey, I really want to thank you for showing up on the last couple lives. Not only encouraging me on my fitness journey, but you're really encouraging on my content creator journey. I know you blitzed through a ton of our videos, and I just want to thank you for all that. I know there's effort associated with that. You used some of your personal time to help us progress towards our larger goals. And that's super meaningful. So appreciate you, friend. No problem, I enjoy. Excellent. Let me tell you what I'm not enjoying. This run. Right now, I am running with so much doubt, uncertainty, discomfort. Now, I'm not running through pain, right? Like, your body will give you pain as an indication of like, hey, you might not want to keep doing that. Hey, you sure about that? Hey, snap, broken tendon, torn tendon, right? Like, that's one of the reasons pain exists. But we can't work through some discomforts in pursuit of our health and wellness. That said, I'm trying to figure out, I'm on the line right now. Pain and discomfort. Kind of question like, all right, where did I miss it with my training? Did I over somewhere? Because my booty feel different today. And not in the right way. Same with my shins. Or is this just an area where like, it's a discomfort, you just don't want to be here? You know, you wore pants and you probably should have just wore shorts. You're hot. And you just don't want to be here. You don't want to find and squeeze your core and your glutes because you don't want to be here. Right? So I'm in the middle of those two worlds of like taking a couple pauses, doing a couple deadlifts, moving my arms around, trying to get my breathing right. And honestly, like, trying to reach a point of acceptance that we are gonna run to that city. Like, we are not gonna have to make this choice of, no, we can't do it today, something's off. It's like, no, we just gotta run and warm up with intention, even though we're coming into Monday with some different fatigues, some different sore, achy things. And let's keep wiggling around until we find it. Now, one of the things that did do me in the last week, which it's gonna sound really silly, is like, I did a business trip to Yokohama for 2 days. Also, if you want to see Yokohama, just go and find one of the last lives. I think it was like 2.5 miles, Fart Lake in Yokohama. That one was great. It was a mess of a workout. I didn't have my stopwatch, so there are a couple things that were just, my wasn't really right. One of the reasons because of that, so I was doing full days sitting in a chair listening to surgeon interviews. No, surgeon interviews are amazing. Like, I enjoy that part of the job. But if I sit for prolonged periods of time without good breaks to get up, walk around, stretch, engage my core, like, if I start to allow my posture to collapse. Oh man, that can cause some serious pain. And on top of that, I had tons of writing to do. I wrote like a total of, let me count another one. I wrote 11 papers in 1.5 weeks. And a good portion of those occurred on the business trip. So I was like sitting on the edge of a desk or table, listening to surgeon interviews in the gaps, chasing deadlines, which means like I was curled up, ergonomics 0% good, posture slouched, neck looking down. Whew, like as bad as ergo could be. That's where I was. And oh Lord, it was bad. And I think that's what did me in, man. It was the sitting, it was the twisting. You know, I can't forget, like, I got 2 pancake discs in my back. I got your spine, your back is made up of quite a few components. You have your spinal cord, which has all these nerves in it, which relay different signals to your lower extremities so that you can like walk, you know, like the be a functional, alive kind of human things. These nerves, I believe, I actually gotta check, I think they make up a 2-way street, right? So in some capacity, the nerves send signals, which leads to muscle contractions. Finally, almost finding my posture. I want to walk, but I gotta find posture and form. And as great as walking is, from a cardiovascular perspective, I can't afford to walk today. From a timing perspective, if I want to make it to that city and run 7 miles this morning, or about 11K, 11 kilometers. So, 2-way street, your spinal cord sends signals down so that your lower muscles and your glutes and legs can twitch, fire, and move well. But the other really important piece is that same spinal cord can relay sensing signals up to your brain. So it can detect that, oh my goodness, you're accidentally standing in a fire pit. Ow, jump, move away, avoid pain. Which is why for some folks that lose the ability to sense things, you know, if they've had, for instance, severe spinal accidents, it could be super dangerous because they won't feel sensations to then avoid dangerous situations. Now, normally, if that's occurred, they're already probably in a wheelchair. So they already have larger issues where they're probably not walking around, not feeling anything. And then you have the other extreme example of like Adam Sandler from Mr. Deeds. You know, hey, I just got an ad. That's fun. I didn't know I see the ads too. Get paid. Someday. Huge milestone to hit monetization on YouTube. Hitting monetization doesn't mean rich, by the way. Like, if you only have 5 people on a live, they hang out with you for an hour, they see 3 ads, I still don't get paid from that. But in the event of a video outside this live experience does very well, then I get paid from that. So thanks for watching the ad. As eventually, with enough people, that could provide a form of income so I can continue to make great content for y'all. But two-way street in the most extreme example, which I didn't finish my thought because I got an ad, is like Mr. Deeds, Adam Sandler. Mr. Deeds left his foot out in the cold or something, got severe frostbite, and his like butler has a fire poker stick, and he's like wailing on his foot, really hitting it. Mr. Deeds feels nothing. Then he turns the stick and stabs it through his foot. Adam Sandler pretends that it really hurts. He's like, why would you do that? You're sick, or something. Just like, that's a classic Adam Sandler response. Whew. And, and he pulls. That's like the extreme side, right? Of not having the ability to feel. So for me, in my case, I have your spine's made up of a spinal cord, and then you have multiple bones along your spine, which come down to eventually connect your hips at a place called the what's it called, sacrum. And all these bones can kind of flex and move relative to one another based on how different ligaments and muscles connect across them. And the spinal cord goes down the middle of the spine, and then between every bone, every piece of the spine, you have what are called discs. And y'all can check me on this, I'm not 100% sure, but I think these discs are made out of cartilage. I think they're made out of cartilage, similar to like the meniscus in your knee. You gotta double check. I think that's what's gotta be. And over time, you can, depending on the severity of an injury, if you have a lot of compression, you can actually like tear a disc, or you can wear and rub it away. And what happens when your discs wear away over time, or if they compress, they squish out like a pancake, they lose their supportive form. And as, especially for people like me, I'm 300 pounds, if you get heavier, like, you get heavier, 300 pounds, like, whew, sorry, feeling it, feeling the work. But this is a big moment. Friends, we're very close to 2 miles. We had a ton of doubt concerning our form, our mechanics, our tilt and pace. And I still have concerns. I'm still running and moving with intention. And I'm still aware of where things aren't moving, say, in an optimal way, but I'm still moving, right? I found a lock-in pace, and I'm still trying to work through some areas where certain muscles are fatigued and sore, certain areas of my posture is not symmetric, where I can sense that I'm a bit twisted, and where certain muscle groups aren't firing the way that I desire or would prefer. Namely, like my left glute and it's on the outside of your body. I forgot what that's called. It's not a hamstring. Oh, the hamstring's a little inactive. Is that an IT band? That's a tendon though, I think. I'm still learning. But there's some areas where my left side is not firing, activating, holding taut the way I desire to run safe and well. That said, after about 2 miles, I finally found a little bit of abs. They were hiding. Sometimes on a run, it's hard for me to find my core. And that might be an indication that I overdid it with boxing yesterday, because when I do that VR game, you really have to hold and engage the core. There's a lot of twisting coming from up top and down low with throwing knees. So, man, but we passed the 2 mile threshold, which is amazing, because normally, not always, but that kind of indicates. That's a train, by the way, if you're wondering why those lights are moving so weird out there. But no, the getting past 2 miles, and again, not always, is an indication that the pace and the experience has been locked in. Like at this point, walking, it's a little bit more outside the realm of possibility. Oh, it doesn't make any sense. It's less likely to occur. Like now, my trottle pace is, for the most part, ongoing. For the most part, it's safe. For the most part, the form's close enough that I don't think I'm at risk of wearing or damaging anything. And you can hear, right? I'm breathing. I'm giving my body oxygen, but I can talk. That's really important. We're in the lower intensity heart rate cardio bracket. Doesn't mean we're not working. It just means we're working at a pace that's right for us. But let's get back to this spinal cord disc discussion, because my brain can wander. Let's oxygenate. oxygenate. Now where things can start to get a little rocky, all right? We got a hill coming up this bridge. It does represent a challenge because we finally found form, a tilt that's safe, right? We found a rhythm, and that was really, really hard to build. And now we're gonna disrupt the rhythm. We're not gonna change pace if possible, but the intensity will spike and increase because we have to climb a hill and run up a bridge and then down a bridge. So elevation changes screw with your pacing, your form, your heart rate. So I'm gonna try to breathe through some of those transitions and see if we can stay in it without losing core. Ohayou gozaimasu. It's coming up, friends. This part, not a fan, but what's great, right around the bottom of this hill, that should mark 2.5 miles. We only have to run to under that bridge is 3 miles. And if we go beyond that bridge, there's a little flower patch. And that's a wee little 0.5 miles farther. And that's the mindset. Let's run the 0.5 to get over the bridge. And we're already at 2.5. Let's run the extra 0.5 to get to 3.5. And then we just gotta turn it back and rerun what we did. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna lean a little more. I'm gonna also try to squeeze glutes a little bit more. We don't need to be perfect with it. I'm gonna try to breathe with intention and drive up the hill. And the reason I'm breathing this way, it fills the lungs. When you do a double forceful inhale, it clears everything out. Sometimes some of those small airways don't get fully oxygenated, which limits how much oxygen gets into the blood, which gives your cells what they need. Oh my goodness. Gives your cells what they need to keep rolling. Spinal disc discussion. Oh yeah. Thank you for bringing it back in, friend. Empu, were you in the live when I like strung people along on this story about a creepy encounter I had while running? This is still an uphill, by the way, so trying to keep pace, good form. I'm still listening. Like, spine, damn it. Why are we talking about the spine? This is good though. This is good because the left side of my hip, glutes, and hamstrings starting to activate a little bit more. Starting to move as expected. It's not perfect by any means, but it's plunking along. Not sure you can brief me on it. I can listen later on. Alright, so it's fun. So anyway, spine's made up of different bones, and then inside your spinal cord runs between the bones. The cord kind of protects them. Your spinal cord's also wrapped in kind of like a membrane called the dura, which also kind of protects the spine. It's like a soft, kind of rubbery tissue. I've touched it before, it's pretty cool. Not on my own body, somebody else's. That still doesn't replay, right? I work in med tech, so we do cadaver labs, so the person was dead. No, that doesn't replay well either. Anyway, moving on. So what happens is when these discs rupture, if they're under crazy load, or think about like a car accident, right? Like bones are gonna be harder than cartilage, and if the loading is extreme enough, the disc will be compressed and tear or pop. But for most folks who aren't in, who aren't in a giant BMX biking accident, gotta keep going. I'm fading. Whew. This is gonna be the hard part. So downhill, I normally put on the brakes a little bit, which means I lean back. That posture of lean back makes me lose core engagement, and right now that's what's causing hip discomfort. So I'm actually trying to lean forward but take small steps so I can bring down the pace a little bit. And then Pooh, I'm glad you're still here, still listening. I know you said you got work or something coming up, so see if I can stay on the spine a little bit longer. It's probably only almost gooey packet time. Oh, come on. Let's see if we can get to halfway. Halfway would be great. So anyway, for most people in normal life conditions, especially if they're heavier set, say from like a US context, US has higher rates of obesity than most countries. Not all countries, by the way, but a large percentage of them. So if, in fact, you're carrying around all this extra weight, say you live a more sedentary lifestyle, so you're sitting playing video games all the time, so that means you're not really growing good muscles for stabilization and posture. What happens is literally the weight of fat, lack of muscle density, all of that puts pressure on your spine, especially if you slouch, for instance. That can start to push even the disc out from between your bones in the spine. Whew. By the way, congratulations, you've made it 3 miles. What a remarkable achievement, friends. 3 miles is no joke. Just got 0.5 to go. Just gotta make it to the flower patch. All right, we're almost there. But normal life will put pressure on the spine, and from that, your discs and your spinal cord and discs will respond in different ways depending on the direction of the loading, how long it occurs, as well as how much, again, support structure is around the spine holding it, and what I would say is an optimal posture. So say you've had a sedentary lifestyle and you wake up one morning and you're like, today's the day. You get out, put on your running shoes, go and run 1.5 miles with high impact, poor form. Your knees hurt, you feel pain in your back, you're laid up, and then you're like, nah, I'm pushing through this sucker. It's a new day, it's a new me. Going to the gym the next morning, you see that hack squat, you know, or better yet, deadlift. You're like, let's hit that deadlift. You load it up to the same weight as high school you. You're like, I just got a baseline. I'm back. You pull. Your form isn't optimal. You're compromising for the lift with different parts of your body. You know, your upper back, shoulders collapse. You're halfway to pulling it all the way up, and all of a sudden, ow! Right? Compression on the lower back. What's happening is you can start to compress or flatten out the discs in your spinal cord. I know this because it happened to me. I can show you the MRI. I have 2 of them. And when you flatten out the disc, it starts to push laterally, right? So your 2 bones, I know you probably can't see my hands because it's dark, 2 bones squish on the disc in the middle. Creates a pancake. Well, we need to assume from a physics perspective that for the most part, if you squeeze on that disc, the volume of the disc should remain uniform. So that's not 100% true, but we're going to assume it. So because we're assuming a uniform volume, the question becomes, where does the rest of the volume go if the height decreases? It's like if you were pushing on a shoebox, where do the edges of the shoebox go? Whew. Answer, they go out. And when they go out radially or laterally, they're gonna push on something. And hey, what do you know runs along the discs and along the spinal cord, along the spine? Ding, 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 spinal cord. So when you start to have compression in these discs, it starts to load up your spinal cord. And your spinal cord, as we learned in today's lecture, is responsible for sending signals to lower extremities on how they should move, and then receiving signals on what they feel, which in your brain kind of creates a PID control loop. That's a whole robotics question. Basically, your body's constantly sensing, I'm telling my arm to move here. Is my arm here? It is not here. Keep moving arm till here, right? Like it's a logic thing. I think I'm close. Let me check. 3.3. 0.17 to go, and we're done with this workout. Then we just gotta turn around and get home. That's easy. It's a trick. Playing mind games with myself. But so pressure, discs, squish. How can I almost disc squish? They expand radially, and now you got 2 problems depending on the severity. Spine. Problem number 1: your body may not move as you intend it to move. So sometimes people with lower spine issues like me will get something called drop foot, where from a mechanic's perspective, and how they run and how they move, sometimes they can't control the flexion of their foot, or they start to lose balance more easily. Right, so your mechanics can suffer, and that's not good. So drop foot bad, drop foot very bad, almost there, 0.05. Other issue, so that's your movement gets weird. If you're not moving in an optimal way, when you then go and try to lift heavier weights, your form is vulnerable to more severe accidents that can occur. 0.02, come on. We're almost done with this workout, let's go. 0.01. It's funny, I know I'm gonna turn around and follow that guy. I was like, never gonna catch him. All right, let's turn around. Radically different pace, bro. There we go. So, first issues. And maybe that's not the first issue, but it's where the continuum can go. You keep on those nerves. They can't fire the way they should to send the right signals lower, and certain movements get blocked out of different levels of severity as you get older and live with the injury longer. But the other thing, and maybe this symptom happens faster, right? Your spinal cord's receiving signals from all your extremities, relaying those up to the brain. Well, when you're pushing on the spinal cord, there's nerves and sensors in your lower back. So you're gonna have a more active sensation of pain and discomfort because your body's like, hey, plus, respond. And there's things you can do to neutralize that response with pharmaceuticals, taking oral for people with like Tylenol. But things can definitely escalate. I was getting epidurals in my spinal cord to suppress pain responses. I was doing it every 2 months, you know, and the goal of that was to reduce inflammation in that region, reduce the pain response while building strength, rehab the area, get better posture, possibly drop weight, so I can walk back the need for surgery. And you know, your body's in respond mode. Or, you know, that's overactivity with pain. The other issue, I'm sure there's someone out here who's like, is this guy a doctor? Is he a neurologist? And I'm like, no, I'm just an engineer. I know a thing or two. Just an engineer. So, not fully credentialed to speak holistically on the issue, but I do work in robotics and med tech innovation and where biomechanics. There's probably areas where I'm not spot on, but close enough for a discussion, right? All right. So, still here, still throttling, but let's take that nerve receiving aspect of the spinal cord. Let's take it a little farther, right? So in the immediacy of the region, if your disc is pushing on it, you feel localized pain where the disc is. But the other issue is it can suppress sensing and feeling below the region, because everything goes up and down to the brain, right? So where this normally, but not always, manifests, at least where it is in me, is something called sciatica, which can occur on one side, both sides, into different levels of severity. And what happens with sciatica is it's like, you ever sit on the toilet too long scrolling on TikTok, and all of a sudden try to stand up and your foot's asleep, and you got those sharp pins and needles, and you try to stand up and your foot collapses and you fall on the floor, and you're like, man, I really gotta watch less TikTok on the toilet, right? Now imagine that, but from above your hip socket on one side all the way down to your knee, along half of your thigh. That's what I have. It's always asleep, brah. My right side likes to nap. That's what I always say. Just kidding, that's the first time I've ever said that. Whew. Friends, we're almost at 4 miles. I'll tell you what, I'm really hot. I'm very warm. I overdressed. It's 54 degrees. I feel like I'm in a sauna suit. So I wore leggings, shorts, gloves, long sleeve shirt. I'm like, what is this misery that I've consented to? But we're doing good. I want to walk, I want to stop, I want to take a break. I'm going to try to keep trotting along, but because that marks 4 miles right there, what I am going to do, I'm going to try to hit a gooey packet. I'm going to put my phone in my pocket, take off my gloves, eat a delectable package of sugar, see if we can run over that bridge. And when we get back to that other side of the river, that'll be mile 5, okay? Which is great. So, if that's the case, once I hit mile 5, I'm gonna try to change the battery while we're live. This is something I've never done on a run, but hopefully it'll allow us to continue the conversation. Okay, come on, come on. But, as I was saying, my leg, I'm gonna put this in my pocket for a minute. My leg on the right side is usually asleep with different levels of severity, and my ability for some of my muscles to fire correctly, for instance the glutes and the hamstrings, it's actually a huge challenge for me. I spent, it's the wrong bag, I spent probably 4 years in physical therapy in parallel to doing normal training, just to try to regain some of those abilities to fire my glutes, for instance. Hit that packet before the hill. Let's go. That's disgusting. Should have did this a little early. Oh, gross. I gotta lean forward, squeeze my butt. Disgusting. About 3 minutes ago would have been the right time to hit this. I feel like I'm drowning. Trying to chew something disgusting. Breathe out my nose. Run up a hill. I hate chocolate. Oh no. Got it. Keep going. Climb. Just gotta keep climbing. Keep climbing. Don't lose pace or breath. Breath is the hard one. Oh. Breathe. Come on. We're over 4 miles. Come on. Didn't think this run was gonna happen. Come on. We had all that doubt, all that crap we had to work through the first 2 miles just to get ourselves in a mindset that it was possible, that we could do it. So keep pushing along. Come on. Keep going. 4.2 miles. Working towards 5. Working towards 5. Keep breathing. Keep it rolling. Come on. There we go. We're back. Put on our other glove. Keep it rolling. See, we tricked ourselves into getting this far, right? Which is not nice to trick people. So if you're going to, start with yourself, right? It's like, all right, we get to 2 miles, we can probably make it to 2.5. If we get to 2.5, oh, it's not that bad. How gozaimasu? It's not that bad to push up to the 3 mile marker, which was just past the bridge. Once we got there, whew, we played some mindset games. We're like, all right, well, this experience, it's clearly happening. Like, our body's moving, we're gonna run, so might as well see if we can edge out to 3.5 miles. And the beautiful thing about it is you set your decision making at halfway. And in the beginning, I mean, in any workout, you can only trick yourself so much. Like, I know that extra half mile is really a full mile. So once I run to it, I gotta run back from it. So I know we're going a mile farther than we did the time prior. But, very important here. All right, very important. We know we can get home. That is huge for me. It becomes entrained. You know, I know that soreness aside, wobbly form aside, once I pass a certain threshold, I can get home. I can modify pace, I can modify form, I can walk around. Chocolate, stop it. Stop it, Empu. Disgusting. I can modify all these things to get it done. The hard part is the commitment to get myself 3.5 miles or 5.5 kilometers away from the start, right? it is, some people still have difficulty finishing. Like, there are some workouts, you'll see me, the last 2 miles, the last mile, it's not gonna be all cupcakes and rainbows, okay? Like, we still have to accept the 4 or 5, 6 miles we did prior, you know, or the 8, 9, 10 kilometers we did prior. It's not like those don't exist, but there's a shift in. But I didn't know how to eat. I was very lethargic. How very lethargic, very sedentary lifestyle. I still played football, but I was a lineman. So, you know, as far as we had to run, it was 3 yards, right? Put your big hand on the ground. They say down, set, hike. Try to move forward as fast as possible, and you're immediately stopped by another heavy person. It becomes a sumo battle, right? Oh no, the chocolate burps. Oh no. No. It's worse coming up the second time than it is putting down the chocolate the first time. But so very sedentary, very slow, very unhealthy, very unwell in high school. But one thing I learned was that I can make myself do hard things, and that's why I joined long distance for track and field. That's why I joined long distance. Like, actually I was doing wrestling as well. I wrestled heavyweight, a big guy, and I got a concussion. Another guy slammed me straight on my face. Blacked out, saw stars. Didn't know what day it was when I woke up. Had blood all over my face. Remember we had an athletic trainer. He's who I woke up to with a flashlight in my eyes. He was like, Joe, snapping, Joe, you know what day it is? And I was like, no, what day is it, Glenn? He's like, oh, that's not good. First response, oh, that's not good. It's so funny, I almost forgot about that. And shout out to Glenn, man. He was a great trainer. Really took care of the athletes. The coaches gave him a bad rep. One of our coaches for football was like, you want to play football? You want to start this week? You want to win? Then you stay the heck away from Glenn. It's like, you're a little sore, you're a little banged up. Good. Go in his office, grab a bag of ice, tape it up, put some icy hot on it, and get out. Do not talk to him. It's like, dude, like, I wish I had known at that age how terribly toxic that mindset was. Because from him, and the problems he was trying to solve as coach, he wants his starters starting. He wants his best lineup lined up. He doesn't want anyone to miss a game. But when you push people on their bodies too hard, you push them to lift things they shouldn't lift, or to lift them with poor form because people are yelling at them, you entrain very dangerous health and wellness behaviors that catch up with those folks in their 30s. Big time. I mean, I was one of them, right? You know, it's like you could push yourself through anything. And there's there's a lens of truthiness to that, right? When we hit 5 miles per hour, we're gonna walk and change the camera battery. We'll see if I can kick it back on. I am petering a little bit, so 5 miles is a good place to change the battery, breathe, and see how we can finish this. And for me, success is distance, not a perfect pace. But we are on track to get home on time, so that's pretty neat. But anyway, so I get slammed on my face, meet with Glenn, go to the hospital, get checked out. They're like, you've had a severe concussion. Got my MRI, make sure my brain stem's still in there. And because of that, I actually still have some issues. Like, if I get hit in the back of the head, like from behind where I can't see, even with something soft, someone tapping my head, or my daughter wailing on me with a pillow or a foam sword, like, I do go into, like, if it persists, even if I can smile and laugh through it, like, I go through a mini panic attack and I start flinching, like I start anticipating the next impact, and because I can't see it, I can't react correctly, so I start tweaking out. I'm gonna put Chad in my pocket for a minute, change the battery on the phone. Hey, 5 miles, friends. Hit a deadlift. Oh no. Ooh, and a mini squat. Oh yeah, lots of little things, a little twisted up. That's good, that's good. I didn't think we'd make it this far, so that's great. All right, put phone in my pocket. I'm gonna take my gloves off. We're gonna do surgery on the GoPro. Now, this is a revolutionary procedure, friends. First time ever completed live. We've only tested it once in a lab, which means my house. But hypothetically, this should totally work. All right. Worst case severity, you die. I mean, online. Your online life ends with this procedure. Here is the power cable. All right, we're gonna plug it in a minute. So I put this in my pocket. We're gonna plug it into the battery pack that's running our Wi-Fi wireless network, connected to SoftBank, which is SoftBank, my cellular provider. So here's the battery pack, here's the router. Now, I want you to know this is a fairly high risk procedure. Anything goes wrong, can't really revert. So what I mean by that, it's in the event that the power bank doesn't give the GoPro enough juice when I tether them, well, and we're in bad shape, because the GoPro will die. If the GoPro dies, the connection between the GoPro wirelessly to my computer at home, which is running the live session, will be severed. And unfortunately, based on crappy programming from Google, I can't remotely reset that connection to restart the live, which means even friends, if I am able to successfully change into a new battery after the GoPro has died, there's no way for me to reconnect it to YouTube to continue the live, which means my last 2 miles will be completely alone. Very high risk, all right? But if we are successful, it means that we are able to go the last 2 miles together, which is very exciting. So at any point during this procedure that the screen goes black and stays black, or gives you that little lovely circle we've come to appreciate, consider that a goodbye and trust that I'll make it home somehow. All right, so I'm gonna plug this in carefully, very carefully. We need to make sure it's fully inserted, which is a little tricky with that band. So I'm gonna scoot that band. Also, if we accidentally bump the Wi-Fi receiver and lose Wi-Fi signal, that will also kill the live. Here we go. GoPro is allegedly plugged in. I need to make sure all the cables are nice and firm. I don't like it. All right, pop you off. Can you still see me? Hey, what's up, friend? Catching the sunrise. Got the city behind us. It's nice. My booty's so sore. It's actually nice though to pull things out of the cardio mode for a little bit. People think you can't walk if you run a half marathon. You can totally walk sometimes. You just want to make sure you walk with good form. Form is so important. Okay, so I'm gonna open. There's a lot of risk here because if I hit a bump when I open the side of the GoPro, sad things can happen there too. All right, so I want to do this. So nervous. All right, we're gonna open it up. All right, you should feel a slight tingling on the left side of your ear. Totally normal, okay? Don't worry about it too much. I'm walking slower. We're gonna insert supplemental power, right? In 3, 2, 1. Should feel a little buzz. Just a little one. Just so like, hey, how's it going kind of thing. Now we're gonna let this stay connected for about 15 seconds. Just so everything with power can stabilize. Seems like the live's still functional even if your head's tilted on its side. If I want to be really weird with this, I would like turn the camera up towards me so it's like you're laid out on a table, but I'm not gonna do that right now. Okay, now I'm gonna pull the battery. This is where things can start to go bad. Goodbye maybe. 3, 2, 1. Hey, all right, we're gonna pop in supplemental power. It's still keeping you alive. You're on life support. Here comes your renewed battery, and it is green. We're gonna wait 10 seconds for the electronics to stabilize. You know we shouldn't have to. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Procedure. Battery packs with charged Wi-Fi going into pocket gently. Charged Wi-Fi going into pocket gently. I've connected it here. Just the act of putting it in the pocket has killed the live before. Hey, look at our city. It's so nice. Oh my gosh, somebody's chasing us. Oh, they're running too. I guess I have nothing to worry about. All right, let's put our extra battery away. Our cable away. We'll hit one more gooey packet. I'm on the fence about needing it, but I got enough distance left that it doesn't hurt. And then after I do that, I'm gonna hit a couple deadlifts and check chat, because I can't do all these things at once. So now this next gooey packet's disgusting. Actually, I'm gonna hit 3 deadlifts right now. Oh man. Whew. We are gonna be sore tomorrow. Yes, sir. That's not a bad thing though. It's just a thing. How gozaimasu. Alright, our next gooey is called Tastefully Nude. It doesn't taste, it's not flavored intentionally like chocolate or anything. I will say it's disgusting. Nope. Overcommitted to that. Oh. This is my just get through packet. Alright. Now, based on the weather, I don't think I need gloves the rest of the run, so let me pop that all in my pocket. Oh, sore booty. The squeeze at the top of the deadlift. That's a nightmare. All right, I'm gonna try again. Nice tilt. See if we can wrap this sucker up. We are at 5.6. And now we're at 5.4. Got 1.6 left. Wow, it worked. I had to refresh, but here it is. Yes! Fantastic. That's amazing, Empu. I'm really happy. Really happy to hear that one, but let's go. Let's go to the zoo. Let's go to the zoo. See how the animals play. There's some song like that, I don't remember. Alright. So we're at the point in this experience where it's not particularly fun. But as I said earlier, we can always get home. Good morning. Good luck. So glad. Also got Vegemite. That's exciting. My mom went to Australia. Dude, that's fantastic, Empu. Sorry, I missed a couple of your comments during all the changes, but I think I got caught up. I'm glad you're able to refresh. Get back on it. It won't always work. The most devastating one would be if I actually train up to and run a half marathon. Because I've done a couple half marathons. But set up the live. We're 10 miles in. Only got 2.5 to go. The GoPro goes beep, 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 beep. Dead. No way to connect. None of y'all get the joy of the achievement, you know? That would suck. One for me. It sucked for me too. Like, sometimes I don't think folks recognize like how meaningful it can be to have folks in their digital corner spurring them on. Like, get this, right? I know how algorithms work, for instance, as a content creator. Like, if I were to burn down a family frenzy, restart the channel, or let's say rebrand it, rename it, from a views and engagement perspective, the best thing I could do as a content creator, this is just speaking through the lens, pure algorithm wise, is to niche it so hard, like 100% pretentious engineer. Everything is snarky, toxic duet. Maybe some engineering, wisdom, learning kind of content, but for the most part, just live into the pretension, you know? Toxic and viral every single time, no variety. But the algorithm would start to realize, oh, these are this guy's people, but also, oh, these are the people who hate this kind of person. And then for an engagement perspective, it'd be like, hey, what if we bring both those groups together every time on every one of their videos? When you have content that is polarizing, it drives engagement. And when each video is on brand or intimately connected to the next, it also drives engagement because everything fits and it's more organized, easier for your viewers, right? Whew. 1 second. How gozaimasu. So for me, like, I'm gonna walk again, just having a hard time keeping the cardio, keeping the form, and that's okay. The pause at 5 miles that's a tough one. But I know we're close. Like the cranes aren't that far off. That's the river. And we just gotta walk up the steps. So right now we're probably reasonably close to 1 mile left. Yeah, 1.25 miles left. That's nothing. We're home. But so I know how the algorithm works, right? But what I prefer to do as a human, because I'm a human living in digital spaces, aware of these things, as a creator, I experience what some would call moral tension. Right? I know the game that could be played to be quote unquote successful in these spaces. But human to human, I realize there's a value in bringing my authentic whole self to these spaces. That I'm a creative person with a variety of interests and desire to engage with people in different spaces in different ways. Coming from a faith context, even, like, there is kind of an undercut of belief of like God wants me to meet certain people and engage them in certain ways, in a way that's loving and kind and respectful from wherever they're at. And if everything is a viral toxic video of a pretentious engineer being sarcastic and knowing that some people don't get sarcasm, oh no. Did we die? Did we die? Like, that's a big problem. Maybe I'm revealing too much master plan. Let me see if it's my phone's issue, or if we lost. Ooh, that's a bad sign. I think we lost signal. Check. Yeah, phone says we're still live. We don't have a connection lost. I'm gonna say it might be my phone issue, not the live. So I'm gonna keep talking until my GoPro says otherwise. There we go, it came back. Must have just hit a rough patch on data, either from my phone or the signal. But I see you. Excellent. Sorry about that, Empu. I'm also looking on YouTube on my phone, so I never know. But like, because I'm a real human with all these moral dilemmas, I was like, well, I want to make content for fitness because I think there's a lot of people that struggle. Maybe click on your thing again. Yeah, I refresh. Thank you for that. You know, like, I want to do the DadBod thing because it's a significant part of who I am. And I don't want to get rid of the family frenzy, because my family is a frenzy and I love my kids, and learning how to raise for them in Japan is wild, and I like to bring people into that. And I want to make more Japan VR content. And there's all these andis, all these different interests. I want to write books, right? I want to do this stuff. I want to talk about leadership. All of that doesn't perfectly nest under the pretentious engineer. And at the same time, the pretentious engineer doesn't perfectly, doesn't perfectly nest under a family frenzy. It's a piece of who I am. And for me, within the moral dilemma and awareness of algorithms, I have to trust the process, that some people will connect with the character of who I am versus the character of the snarky, pretentious engineer, and that they want to explore a wide range of content from me, that they like the variety. And what I was saying in the beginning about how, like, people in the live don't understand how much encouragement matters, right? Like, if we're finishing up a half marathon and the live dropped, like, I had someone post on one of my recent videos, I worked really hard on it, I don't even remember what it was. It had very low views, like 300 views, multi-posted it to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I normally don't check Instagram that much, but I always multi-post there because there's people there too. And someone just responded like, hey, I saw, because it was a repost, like I kind of re-edited an older video. They're like, this is when I joined your community. It was like from a year ago. They're like, I love all your stuff. And they literally wrote like the engineering stuff, the Japan life stuff, the fitness stuff, like, you know. And I almost missed the comment because there's multiple platforms and I can't keep track of everything all the time. But I missed that moral dilemma. That one comment was like, okay. And I'll forget that comment, by the way, because that's how my imposter syndrome works. But for the time being, I was like, okay, stay the course, right? Like, people connect with the whole picture of a family frenzy. So let go of these games of niching down to just the pretentious engineer. You know, maybe someday when I have a team that edits and posts content, runs the business side of things, and I get to just be a creative, like, sure, they can kick off duplicative channels, over edit stuff, and niche hard. But I only have the time to do one. How gozaimasu. Yeah, so it's like, because I can only do one. Welcome to the frenzy of my world. So I raised 3 kids in Japan, and I'm a pretentious engineer, and I work out and run long distance in Tokyo sometimes, because that's all I can do. And that's why, MCO, I appreciate you being here for the runs, chatting through our goals to monetize. Like, it is a legitimate encouragement, believe it or not. Whew. Gorgeous. Whew. How gozaimasu. Let's walk for a minute. Soon you'll be part of the Westerners in Japan extended universe. Yeah, that'd be wild. You'll probably meet Chris Broad at some point. Who knows? That'd be wild. Alright, let's keep going. How gozaimasu. Chris Broad sounds fun. Come on. Petering out. Definitely petering out. It's like I had all these perspectives at mile 2, mile 3, mile 4. Like, oh yeah, let's just trick ourselves. Let's just run an extra half mile, which it's really an extra mile, but you won't feel it because you've ran this far before. You can do it. Yeah, no big deal. We won't have to worry about that extra mile decision later. Say the last mile. How gozaimasu. Don't worry about it, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Lies. Oh, lies. Just keep hobbling on, they said. Actually, nobody said that. They said, buy some Doritos, sit on the couch, binge 28 Avenger movies, back to back. How is that was? Just, what are we on now? Ant-Man 3. Into the Spider-Verse. The crossover you didn't know you needed. Ant-Man becomes Spider-Man's tiny ant friend. It's a long way from Civil War. Spider-Man doing the whole, what is it called? The AT-AT TIE fighter trip kind of thing. Remember that movie with all the spaceships and the big robot walking things? Come on, come on. I guess I'm on. Alright, we're at the point now, friends. Every step is a choice. Not that it wasn't prior. It's definitely more of a choice. Each of these steps is a choice. The pace. The pace is a choice. Activating my abs, my back, my glutes. It's a choice. I don't want to do it. I'm choosing to do it. And if anyone's been in the live before, at this point in the run, you know what's coming. You know what we dread. We're almost there. It's stairs. We are almost at the stairs. Almost there. The question is, do we run them? Do we walk them? Or do we stay at the base of the hill and call a taxi? Those are our three options. Option 1, we walk them. Option 2, we run them. Option 3, we call a cab. Feel free to select which option you think I should choose. Or you could just select, this is like choose your own adventure. Does chat think we walk up the stairs? Turn to page 97. Joe chooses to run up the stairs at full intensity. Turn to page 162. Joe calls a cab. Turn to page 0. What? Not a choice. Not a choice. Taxi's definitely out. Pushing towards 7 miles. Never been closer. How guess I was. Never been closer. Oh crap. Oh, I thought I went too far. I had a panic attack. Never mind, the stairs are right here. Yay. We're so lucky. Oh, we're so lucky. Yay. I'm so glad these are here. I guess I was. You know, I thought about how wonderful it would be if there were stairs between me and A and B. Like, it'd be way too easy to just stay flat, right? How about a challenge? Whew. You know what? Let's put the stairs at the end of the run. But also, let's not put them at like the end of the run. Just like at the close enough tail of the run where you're really at the bottom of despair and provide a false hope that they're almost done. And then boom, there's still another freaking hill. Have them try to run up that and control their breathing. That should be fun. And then give them the, oh yay, you made it feeling. With a gradual downhill with an inadequate amount of time for recovery. So their heart rate is still at 11. And why don't you hit them with just another 2 flights of steps. Have them run down those. And then there's still just enough more run that they don't want to do. Right? Like, just keep it going. Why not? That seems like a super cool thing to do. Man, who picked this god-awful course? Oh wait, I did. What an idiot. Nah. I'm a monster. 300 pounds a man. Ran up 6 steps, 6 flights of stairs. I got 2 more to go. After running almost 7 miles. Not quite there, but we've never been closer. Whew. Whew. There we go. Whew. One more, come on, lean. Whew. Drive with the booty. Oh man, I got squats tomorrow. I'm done for. Loud as I was. Whew. Whew. Come on. Yes. Come on. Come on. A little bit louder now. A little bit louder. Slowing it down, walking it out. Hey friends, that was dreadful. 7 miles, way to go us. Hey, you want to see the river really quick? Yeah. This pours in to the river we ran along. It's a Totoloki ravine. There's a few fallen trees down there, so it's closed. I'm excited for them to reopen it at some point because it's a beautiful, beautiful trail. We used to just normally start by walking down these steps, following the river downhill. So in some ways, I might miss the steps if we gotta